On Newzroom Afrika, Ziniko Mhlaba attended today's session. He joins us live in studio. Ziniko, let's talk firstly about the demeanor of these officers in the court today. I see that they're all masked up, making sure that the media is not able to pick up on their faces. What else did you observe around their behavior and also just general issues around access of the media to this court case?
I mean, we started very slow in the morning, Kathy. We were there by 8 o'clock. We were hoping that the proceedings would start by 9 o'clock. But there was an issue with debating between the defense lawyers and the prosecutor and, of course, the magistrate presiding over whether we should get access or not to that particular to those particular proceedings. Well, the defense lawyers, as instructed by their clients, were not keen on having the media broadcasting that, and that debate went on for the first half of the day, basically, because the court started hearing the actual case after lunch, and that was about 2 o'clock. But basically, at their concern, they were saying that they feel that they will be victimized. They feel that should the public know their identities, that will put them at risk. However, the prosecution team did try to say this is in the interest of justice, and also people would like to know what you guys did and why you did it. So it has to be open to court. And then the magistrate then had to take a decision considering both sides, saying that, guys, I understand your identity security matters and concerns. However, you can mask yourself so that people don't see who you are. However, we are going to allow the media to show your visuals, to show your audio, and eventually the magistrate...
Quite ironic though, Ziniko, because part of why they even in this court case is due to how they treated an individual, but clearly not aware of the fact that they were being videoed at that particular point. But my issue is that if they had no problem sort of carrying out that kind of behavior without hiding themselves, then why should they be hidden now?
That's the problem, Kate. What's even more interesting talking to that issue of not understanding or comprehending what they were doing. Even in court today, the accused number one, who was actually applying for bail, who was giving oral testimony, when asked about the prosecution team, but did you see the video? Did you understand the gravity of what you did? He said, no, that was not assault. I was doing my job. I was ordering order. I was commanding order, and the prosecution was shocked.
Yeah, I mean, disbelief, and I see the camera just caught me. I thought I was nodding my head off camera because it's unbelievable that after seeing the video, they don't believe that there was...
Accused number one saying that's not assault.
Then what is it?
That's the thing. So initially, before the court got to that point of having to talk about the actual video itself, when they were narrating how they felt after that incident on the same day, he told the court that when he saw it initially, I was traumatized. So the priest was like, you were traumatized earlier on. You told the court that you were traumatized earlier on. But now you're saying you were just, doing your job and we're trying to make sure that there's order in that situation. And he further denied, saying that actually the video is not showing all the events of that particular moment. So he can't say this is an assault because he doesn't see anything wrong with it. So that's what he said. And that's the first accused.
In terms of the statements that they would have had to put down before the court, what is the brief outline that they are saying, actually, the brief outline of events of what led then to that moment of that alleged assault as we saw it?
So in a nutshell, their argument is that they did what they did because they were trying to protect the country's number two, who they did not name. From this particular polo that was trying to get too close to the country's number two.
He wasn't even in the car.
He was not in the car, but apparently he was in the convoy. So the prosecutor was like, how would a Polo Vivo be a great risk to someone who is on another car? And what necessitated the number of the officers who got out of their vehicles and attacked these particular individuals? And then they went on to say, so there was an argument whether it was necessary for them to smash the windows of that Polo video. It was necessary for them to use the force that they used. And then the very first accused said, well, actually, the lady was very cooperative. They opened the door and we searched them. So the argument was that if you searched them before, clearly you knew that they were not posing any great harm to anyone. So why did you take out your gun? Why you had 8 of you outside? Was it necessary? And then the issue of reporting the incident. The prosecution asked them, when did you report? And then there was a delay in reporting, so they have to deal with that still. So, yeah, in essence, that's what happened in court today.
All right, I guess this is why we have court cases, to try and get to the truth and the bottom of what has happened, especially in this particular incident. Ziniko Mhlaba will continue tracking that story for us. Stephen?